replace heavy page builders for complex agency work? Honestly, I don't know yet, but today we're going to find out the hard way. Because I'm putting my own native first theory to the test to see if I can build a complex layout in 90 minutes without hitting a wall. If you're like me and you are curious to see if Gutenberg editor is ready to replace your page builder, then you are in the right live stream right now. For people that are rewatching the replay, there will be timestamps in the description down below. And if you're watching live, then you can be my research assistant. Please call out anything if I'm missing a setting or do something inefficient. And I'm very curious, what do you think? Will I finish this layout in 90 minutes? I will leave a poll and I'm curious what you guys think. The poll will only be viewed on YouTube, so if you're on any other platform, you may want to check out the YouTube channel. So today we're going to look at not this section. Let's see. We're going to look at this section and see if we can rebuild it. It's a similar section that I've built before, but this one is more into my style and also what I did in the past, because Taking Reviews in the past was a review website, hence the name, and this section can work very good for that. So we have a title, we have an arrow, which is an accent design, and then we have different kind of page builders that will be fetched from a list. We have the name, we have the ratings, and we have the cost and the amount of videos that are available that in WordPress inside here, and I can also add my favorite pick. This is the Figma file that we're going to recreate, and besides that I also have created this page builder audit page, and if you're curious about it and want to audit yourself your own page builder, I will share it in the description and in the chat as well. So if you want to do and check it out, you can find a copy. I need to clean it up a bit. In the chest right now. It's a Notion page and it actually has everything that I think we need to test to consider a page builder good. Now, I think the placeholders can be better. I mean, editor UX speed is the first one, but maybe the global setup will be better. We will improve that in the future. For now, this is everything you need to test out if a page builder is ready for to be used and if it's good enough. As you can see, it's 15 points that are checked, with each having a special checklist as well. So today, during the live stream, I want to check out this one, the editor and UX and speed, to see if we notice any lag, that we can use common shortcuts. The editor is fast enough that the default shortcuts like undo and redo is doing something. We don't have the annoying ads, nags or upgrade pop-ups like in some page builders, and we have a clear structure. So I'm very curious to check that out. I am using zipwp for my environment. So we're going to delete that one. And I've set up a Taking Reviews test. Let's see, we can also share that one in the chat, because if you want to check it out and try it out yourself, you can just copy this and hopefully it works. Let me know. So let's create a new website, a custom website. That's something that I'm going to show at some point, but not now. Let's see. And let's create a complete site. Yep. Exit sandbox sites. I'm still getting used to this, as you can see. So we want to create something new from blueprint. The blueprint will be the test setup. Gutenberg test. And we are going to create a site. Now, if you have any remarks about the section that we are going to recreate and are missing something that is very useful and we need to have for our page builder audit, then let me know in the comments down below or in the chat as well. It will help out making this stuff better. There we go. We have a nice website. One click, as you can see, is really fast in setting this up. And here we have the default WordPress. Now there are 3 things that are installed by default. One is Code Profiler and the other is Code Query Monitor. And I see that my ACF is missing. And the same as with the last time. And I needed to regenerate this. So we're going to regenerate, then the blueprints will be regenerated with the ACF fields that I've added. So we can look into the setup right here. Because there are 3 plugins, like I said, it's the advanced custom fields. I want to remove that. We have the Code Profiler Pro and the Query Monitor. For advanced custom fields, we can create the fields, but we actually don't need to keep it on. To make it more performant, we can just export everything, say generate PHP, and then we can copy and paste everything from the ACF fields. Now we're using the free version, so everything you see here can be done just for free. Code Profiler is for testing out how well the performance is. And a Query Monitor is seeing how much queries, database queries, page generation time, peak memory usage, and everything is then used. This way we have a database, data-driven way of testing things out as well. Not only does this look okay, does it feel right. So let's go back to the sandbox and delete this one, delete. And we will create a new one, blank site from the blueprint, Gutenberg test, let's call it the same thing, create site. And as you can see, it's really fast in creating and duplicating everything. So yeah, that's always good. Installation, there we're done. Let's click one-click login. Now we have the ACF fields, so finally, we're there. Let's do a check, right? Let's add a new page. I see that. Darn. Yep. I asked Perplexity to create a page and it created it here. That's not something that I wanted. So let's copy everything. Delete this one. We need to do that at a certain point again. And then in the editor, we'll paste in this one. And this one is just for placeholding, that we can see if the templating system is working and that sort of stuff. But let's go back into the pages and let's recreate our design, right? We'll add a new page. And we close this one because we really want to look and feel how this works. So the hero section, let's call it homepage, right? Homepage. And let's hit publish. So that one's set up. Then we need to go to appearance and then themes, because we want to set up and customize our editor. We want to customize our styles, because the first thing that you actually want to do is put in all the styles that you have. For instance, this text, we have typography, and inside of that typography you can choose and pick the various fonts that are available. We can go to install fonts. We can allow access. That will allow you to install all the fonts that you could need. Enter, and enter is right here. We have the normal one, so that's this one, and the variable one. Also for the italics, I will add those as well, and maybe 600. Then you have a bit of variation. Maybe 700 is better for bold. and we hit install. This will install the Google fonts that are available through WordPress. So that's really easy. And then it should be installed. Let's see. Here we have enter. I'm going to deselect this one. Select all of them. So we have now enter selected. And let's see what the text will have. It's open sans. So we are going to change the men rope to open sans. We'll pick 500 again, 700 and 800. So that we have some kind of variation in the fonts on the thickness. And let's install those. Go back, go to library, and we'll pick the open sans. Yep. Now we have enter and open sans as our default fonts. Then we go into our text. What font do we want to use for our text? Normally we want to use open sans. The text size can be large. If you want to pick a specific size, you can toggle it with this settings menu, and allows you to pick any settings. I recommend using this one because those are variables and they are used throughout the system, so that's always a good thing. Then you have the letter spacing. Those all seem all right. For links, I don't want to change anything, so that looks okay. For the headings, I want all of them to use enter. And the rest of the settings looks fine. So if you want to change settings, for instance, the line height, for your H1, it should be very tight. And for your H2, a less tight, and then bigger by heading. And then we have buttons that we can set up. Ooh, something went wrong here. Copy error. Let's go back. Can we just review and save for now so that we can refresh? And then we go back into typography, buttons, there we are. And this all looks fine. As you can see here, we can set the font size presets. So how big is small, how big is medium, how big is large. And I think I will keep them as is. Next up will be the color. So we can change the color palette that we have. We do have different colors than the default one. This is the complete color palette. So let's see if we can move this one a little bit to the side. Move this away. Oh. Now, something funny, I also tested AI with this, and you are able to use AI. Why am I here? I don't want that. And you can use AI to adjust the theme.json, and there is where these colors are set. But now we are going to do it manually. In the future, I will definitely show how you can do that in a theme.json. Oh, let's go there. So we are going to change the color styling. I think those are the main colors that we want to use for our Figma design. Let's see. The red, the purple, some whitish colors as well. So let's add them. So we're going to add this one over there. Red. Over here, the orange. Over here. This is a gradient. We can add that in the gradient tab. Then we also have the dark color. Instead of black, maybe instead of this gray. Then we have a grayish color. Then we have this one. And it's a shame that you can't add any specific theme colors here as well, but it is what it is. So let's add that one, and now we're done. We have created our color palette, and then we want to have a custom gradient, which actually are those two colors. So let's see, we can select this one to be this color. Would be nice if this was connected to our color styles that we set up there. And then here we have the orange. Let's copy and paste this over. We're done. I must say, setting up this is quite easy actually. Setting up the default stylings. We'll see if everything is working exactly as intended. I see that I don't have this color added, so we'll see how that will go. I will review, change, and customer changes. Have I missed anything so far? I don't think so, but if you guys have seen anything, then let me know. Let's change the text. It could be this one. I think that would be nice. For the color, I want it to be the custom one, but the custom one isn't black. It should be this color. Look at that, that looks way better. For the links, I really want to have a very clear link. For the buttons as well, I usually use the same color as a link, because then you know when it's the same orange that you can press it and something will happen, right? And for the heading, we keep it as is. So as you can see, it's directly reflected in here. Do we want to set anything else? I think backgrounds are good. We can set shadows. That's nice. Sharp, deep, detailed, crisp. Different layouts. I think this is good enough. 1340. I think I have set a different setting. It is 9020. It's fine. And then we can set the default spacing, like the padding. And I really don't like any padding by default. I want to have control over that, so I will keep as is. And block spacing. We'll look what that means. And then we can also set things by block. Look at that. You can change the display, the subtitle, but we can't add any other style variations. That would be nice, that you have a plus button right here, that you can add them. Maybe something they will include in the future. But here we can change the default stylings. So I didn't know that actually, but it looks awesome. And you can do the same with images, whilst you don't have much room for the variants. You also have the quote. Let's see, an accordion item. The buttons. Here we have a nice call to action button. I see that I didn't add a call to action button here in the design, but it's fine. I think this is good enough. By the way, if you are curious and want to get the audit page, because we can now check some things, right? Let's duplicate this one. It's duplicating. And we call this Gutenberg. So what are we testing right now? We are testing the reusability and design system. What could we already do? We could set the global typography and skills, the ability to set global classes. That's one that we need to change. The color tokens can be done. The shadows can be done, but I am missing some things in there as well. Let's go back up a little bit. because I didn't see anything that we can set the global spacing and radii. We do have layout, we do have spacing, but there's no way for us to set the specific spacing, right? It's just the layout spacing. Browse styles. These are predefined styles that you can just import. That's always nice to have. Layout, we have shadows, so we can do shadows, but we can't customize our radii and spacing, that sort of thing. Especially spacing, and I think is very important to have control over that. If you know where it is, let me know in the chat, please, because I really don't know. And if you would like to have access to this page, the Notion page, I already shared it in the chat, but just for you, I can share it again. Because this is the other page where my goal is to check if everything is in there. So we have set the typography, the global color and settings. We can't fully check this off. So maybe we could duplicate this one. Now we leave it as is. It's not checked because we can't do this right now. Right. Now we have set up the design system. Here's where I usually start, that we have at least the design ready. So for the next part, we're going to pages. We're going to the navigation. I think that is also very important. And then we have the homepage. The homepage navigation. Homepage. It's not even homepage, it's homepage. Homepage. I don't know what homepage is, but at least we have it. Luckily, we can just change it right here, right? That's awesome. And then we can create a new page directly from here. So it will be reviews. Now I have very good eyes, so let me zoom in for you. And it can be published immediately. We can also add tools, create a page, tools, and publish immediately. We can create, oops. Or can we also remove one? Oh, this wasn't planned. It looks like something is messed up. But this will save it. Then we have about. We create a page. It will be about. Create page. And then we have a new page called contact. Now, as you can see, those two, I didn't check the checkbox and says that it is in draft. So that's very nice. And the page is actually made. And here we can still save it to publish. Save. And if we refresh the page, let's first save it so that we update our menu. And as you can see, there's our menu. Now, how will it look on the front end? Yeah, reviews, tools, and about. And because of the contact page, it is in draft, so it won't be shown. Can we open it up directly? We can't yet. So it is what it is. So that's a bit of templating, right? How you can set up these kind of things. I don't know if I have templating in here. Let's see if we can find it. Template, reusability, templates, but not components. We really need to separate those, right? So let's duplicate and duplicate, because I want to global spacing, global radii, because things like a circle or a pill-shaped button, you want to use the same radii over and over again. So needing to redefine them over and over again is very tedious, and shadows is also very important. That one we have, the other two I didn't find. And And the same goes for the reusability kind of thing, right? We've now seen that we can create templates. So let's remove this and remove the sections. And here, let's keep templates. So we have created a template for the menu. See if there's anything specific for the menu. Menu and navigation, so that can be checked as well. Up to the next one. We're going to see if we can make some changes to the homepage. So the main setup is done for the colors. Is there anybody in the stream right now? No, looks like nobody's there yet. There are people watching, but nobody's responding. So, but that's fine. That's what you get if you stream a different day, right? And if you are in the chat, do have questions or whatsoever, then let me know in the chat, please. Else it feels so lonely. So lonely, I could die. No, don't start to sing. You're not a singer. Let's go to pages. Let's go to our homepage. Here we can see that the contact page is in draft. I really can't wait when the admin UI will be updated, because this really feels old if you see the new WordPress admin page. Let's go to our homepage. And let's change it to homepage. And that is as well. And now the end is near. No, it's not. We're going to start to build this section. Starting out with a hola amigo. Hola Ethan. Nice of you to join. How are you doing this fine evening? Is it evening in Spain? I don't know. In the Netherlands it is. It is a little bit before 9. Let's add a group. This should be a group. So a group is for grouping things, and because this is just a group of things, we can do it like this. It will be our section, and we want to make sure that the width of the section is the complete width of the website. So if we look into this, it should be the complete section. And in this section, we have a heading. And in the heading, we have the text one step closer. So we can put it in. Yes, same, but different country, right? We also have the cards. So if we look in here, we do have the cards. So let's add the cards is in here as well. That will be columns. We have 2 columns, but I don't want 2 columns. We can add multiple columns, right? Yep. There we go, 4 columns. And it should use the wide width for this one as well. That looks better. Now, as you could see, I could see the outline of the whole page, and that's done with this button right here. It's just like a staircase. And you can see everything that you have added to the page up until this point. Let's delete this one. And in our column, I want to add a cover. Why they call it a cover, I don't know, because it's the cover of a magazine or something like that. But then you can add images and that sort of thing. Oh, I see that we didn't design that in our card, so we can remove that one. I'm sorry. And we can add just a stack. So we're going to not add a column. Oopsie daisy. Row. A stack. I'm mentioning it several times that I need to add a stack. And what do? I don't add a stack. So now we have a stack. I want to add an image. We can leave it as is. I don't have any images. Right. For next time, we need to put in assets for this as well, so that we have a quick way to start out. Because now I have to find an image. Unsplash. If you're looking for free images, you can always look in here. There are lots of free images that are just awesome. WordPress? I don't know. Now, if that isn't WordPress, then I don't know what is. Look at this. Beauty. Ooh, this one looks nice. We can download it for free. And then we can upload the image in here. We say unsplash, then we have an image. The next thing that we want to add in the title is the heading. Or in the card is the heading. Just like you can see here. Actually, it's a category. But for now, we can go to add heading. It should be H3. Hello, Webinar. How are you doing? Nice of you to join. I hope you're fine, Jimmy. I'm doing fine. From now on, I'm going to do the live streams on Mondays. The reason being, because then I can utilize the Tuesday to share what I did on Monday in a video. That's smart thinking, right? And then on Wednesday, I can record a video for Thursday. At least that's the idea. Let's see how it goes. And that I don't have to chop up too much from this live stream. So it will be page builders. Ooh, I'm already using the wrong word here because we're not testing Edge, we're testing Gutenberg. You almost got me thinking. Nice, Tuesday. You almost got me thinking. Yeah, I'm sorry that I made you think it was Tuesday and that you missed out a day already. Let's see, this should be a paragraph, but the text should be smaller. Even better, this should be in H3, so that's fine. Perhaps in this case in H2. And we want to change the text size right here. That should be a medium or even small. That looks better. And I want it to be on top of there, because this should be the category if we are going to make the card. Yeah, you're definitely going to see me add WordCamp EU 26. At least that's the plan for now. I hope that that nothing makes me change my mind. Sometimes things happen, you know, but until now, it should be fine. So we have the page builder. We have that one. Then we have another paragraph. Let's copy and paste the text in there so that we have something to work with. Oops. This can be, how can we remove this? There's an easy way, right? Delete is Control Alt Shift Alt Shift Z. Right. Alt Shift Z. There we go. That's nice. And how do we add something afterwards? After Control Alt Y. Control Alt Y. Why do I need to press it there? And then we have something aligned to the left and right. So this should be a column, a row, row. Then the first one should be pricing. So free, because Gutenberg is free. And then we should be paragraph, free. Does Ctrl-D work to duplicate? Ctrl-Shift-D, of course. Duplicate 3 and 5 videos. The free section should be bigger. So let's set that to extra large. And let's set that one to smaller. And I see that the row is not really rowing now, is it? Justify. Because I don't know where this element is right now, I'm going to open up the staircase so that we can see the structure. And now I see that this one is added in a different row. And there we go. We can delete this one, set the row to expand. There we go, 3 and 5 videos. We will go from there. Yeah, that would be nice. That's a very good idea. Yeah, I think also that my little brother will think that I'm going live tomorrow, but it's fine. I need to send him a message actually next time that I'm going live on a different day. Poor fella. It would be very nice to do a live stream with you. I was thinking last week that I'm very curious on your setup for this year, actually. So maybe we could do a live stream earlier than in WordCamp. Because I'm very curious what your setup will be, and if you would like to share it on the live stream. What page builder will you be using? What's your stack? What's your stack? You know? Because I think that's very important to have a stack. Highlight. Let's see if we can make something very obvious. Can we just type in arrow? And that's black. But will the name be the same? A very unknown color should be used. I don't think we're going to ever use this color in a highlight. So we can use that one for our arrow. Oh, and in here we also need to add this right here. The star section. Let's see how we do that. We can do that by adding a group again, I guess. It can be a group like this. An icon. Ooh. It doesn't have an icon by default. I guess it could be an image as well. So we can just click it a few times, export, X for vector S, rating star. It should be a vector, SVG. Come on, you know better, Lex. Rating star. I will make sure that in the future the assets will be already inside of our page builder or WordPress setup, because adding media files I don't think is worth showing as how good something is, right? Export, arrow. Oops. Did I just call this one then arrow? Oh, I called this rating star, right? Rating star and arrow, yeah. So we're going to upload an image, then we can select our rating star. SVG is not allowed, right? So one of the points that I have in here is that we should check out for modern image. Featured image, it's dynamic data. SVG. Supports SVG, and doesn't look like it does that out of the gate, so that's actually sad. Let's see, we also should put that one separate. We can test it out later as well. P. So out of the gate you are not able to add SVGs, which is, I think, mandatory, especially if you're using logos and that sort of things, or icons, because then it can scale upwards in any RAID. The difference between SVG and a PNG, for instance, if you zoom in far enough, you will see some pixels. Oops, can I show that right now? I don't think I can. So you just have to believe me, right? But for this solution, we can also select this one and make it a PNG. It's not preferable, but it is what it is. doesn't have my preference. Rating star. PNG. There we go. We have our rating star. And in the same group, we want to add our rating, which is 4.5. It should be small. The group should be a row because it should be side by side. And it can be aligned to the... I think this is good enough. Then we have Gutenberg. And those two should also... Can we put that... Oh, we can do that. Put it in a stack. So we have a row. Within a row with a title. And this one, although it's an H2, I want it to be smaller. Can be a little bit larger than the text. I think the text is very big. I'm going to change that in our settings. But can we do that from here? Let's see. Font size. No. What I don't want to do is change my text size right here to medium and then still have the text being too big on other pages. Let's see if this works, right? I think so. Then for our row, I want to align it to the center. Not just justification, so not only justify, but also align it to the center. Can we do that? Please say that we can. We can do some styling things, but what does it do, right? Can we... Oh, it has some examples. So that can be changed, if I remember correctly, in our editor. Then we go to styles, we go to blocks, and then we had a stack somewhere. Stack. Or was the row group? We have our style variations, and now we can do some changes. So for our second style, let's make this a light gray. The link can be the same, can be orange, doesn't really matter. The text in here should be a different color, a color that we haven't set yet. It's a little annoying that we can't add it as we go as well, because we have now completely ruined our flow. And we need to go somewhere else to set it up. Let's go in here. Let's go in here, paste it there. Then we go back to where we are adjusting the styling. So our blocks, group blocks, style variant 2. Can we rename this? That would also be nice. For the text, I wanted to use green. And the rest is okay. So review change, we're going to save it. And now I would like to go back to our homepage. There we go. Now I hope that we can select this one, the row, inner styles, and select style 2. And there we go. Light gray with green thingies. Let's see. I still want to adjust the style a little bit. I'm also a bit of a designer, right? So you want it to look nice. Let's go to styles and go to blocks again. Go to group. And then start variation 2. We have the colors. Now we need to add a padding. Let's add a tiny padding to the top and bottom. And left and right. I want to have a little bit of, can we just, yeah, we can. Usually the top and bottom is half of the padding of the left and right side. That's usually what I set up. Because we have an icon on the left side, then I want to have a tighter padding over there. The margin looks good. Block spacing looks good as well. Then I want to change the border radius. And here it is nice that we could use, instead of pixels and ems, just our variables. So that we can type in something like var. Looks like we can't add, it's a shame. 5 advanced. We can also add additional CSS right here out of the gate. We could do that. I mean, I just hope my internet will hold what's needed to go live. All right, let's see. Have a little drink. It's always time for time. Yeah, time for time, because I have time tea, so. Let's see. Where was I? The pages, let's go back to the home page and let's see how it changed. Didn't we save it? I guess we didn't, right? Style 2. Oh, look at that. That's our styling. Really doesn't look nice. Can we just change the position right here? Grow, fixed, fit. I don't want to add any extra margins. I just wanted to align in the center. Just like the 4.5, it's aligned beautifully. Can we make those changes? Dimensions, width, margin. How can we add margins? Ooh, it looks nice, but it isn't doing what I wanted to do. Image. All right, I think we need CSS for this. We can add CSS, luckily, because we can say, all right, in the advanced section, we want to add additional CSS classes. We also can adjust this section directly. The only downside is that I don't have access to the what's called? The files directly, because I'm not able to connect right now to this website to make adjustments to put CSS in the functions in the styles.css or adjust the theme settings, the theme.json. I still need to learn that one, by the way. All right, let's see. So we have roughly our card. Let's make some changes to the card itself. So we have a nice tag, and there's one, and there's one. I want to add a group in here because I want to group everything together so that we can create a card pattern. So we're going to add a group because that's always the next question. If you want something to be reusable, you have to be able to make a card out of it. So let's add it right there. And then the paragraph text. And then the row. Why is this in a stack? I don't want that in a stack. 3. Let's remove that one. Come on, let's see. Remove. We have the row paragraph and we have the rating. I think we need to rename these. It's also very important to name them properly because else you don't know what you're dragging. If I remember correctly, there is an option to rename. There we go. This row, I don't know what row. This is the heading row, right? So we're going to rename heading. And this one is the footer row, footer, card, footer. We can rename this card heading. card heading, save. And then we can create a pattern out of this. Pattern. Card. We can use some categories, press enter. It should be synced. And then we can, if I remember correctly, edit original and then make it semi-synced. So in advanced, you can go to overrides, enable override, and we can say, all right, this is page builder, the category. Enable, we can override this one, and that should be image. Doesn't have to be very complex. And then in here we have the title. Or page build title. Let's call it title. That if we can reuse this card, that we can reuse it at least properly. Rating. And this is the introduction. Or excerpt. Or lead. I don't know, which one should we choose? Not that it's bad or what. I admire people that can work with, because I really can't. Not that it's bad or anything, it's just not for me. Yeah, I can imagine that. I've had the same thing, but it's fun to try this out. Just like I'm